there's one thing that I like, it's a good deal. And today we are checking out a super cheap $85. I cannot believe that you can buy a welder for $85. Here it is, a Zuno. I got it on Amazon. Let's just see, is this thing gonna be absolute junk, or can it even do like a little bit of work? I had to do a video for this because I'm just curious. The first thing that I pulled out is, this is your welding glass. And when I first grabbed this, I was like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just hold this up while I weld? But then it actually gets better. We're gonna try to put this together. I don't know, this could be like a sweet Halloween mask someday. Oh, it snaps together. I don't know if you could see this. Oh, this is a good way to go blind. Goes like that, and then I guess it slides into place here. Oh, maybe from the front. Oh, and I almost break it immediately. So you gotta go in from the back. And then you have this thing. Again, I don't know what direction this is supposed to go. It's supposed to go like that, or is it supposed to be on the front? That's pretty ingenuitive for about, I don't know, like it's not like a $1 part. Comes with a couple extra tips, a instruction manual. Oh man, I don't need that. Oh, this is fancy. This is both your slag hammer and it does come with flux wiring. Oh, I see my first issue. It came unraveled. That's gonna be a hassle. Here's our ground cable. Alright, let's take a little bit closer look before I dig into this further. Alright, here's everything that comes in this box. It comes with the wire, your slag hammer, your brush, a very sketchy mask, a manual. It does have extra tips, and let's put the wire in it, hook it up. It looks like it's basically ready to go right away. Let's see. So we are going to open this up. Oh, check this out. There's actually another tip in there, and oh, that's just spring loaded. Looks like it's got a little groove. See which way this wire spools. It's got a little washer. Looks like it only fits on a certain way. Click that back into place, and done. Your wire is going to spool. See these tiny little grooves in here? You're gonna pull the wire out and it's going to go through here and into this little groove, and then this gets basically pinched down on it so that when the motor drives this, it brings it all the way around and through the gun. So we need power for this. Let's plug it in. And you also want to cut this. You want this to be straight, so we're going to pull it out, cut it, and then feed it through. Alright, she's plugged in. Again, we're going to pull out, pull this wire out, and then we're going to cut it because we don't want all those little bends. Pretty tightly wound. Alright, so this here is the guide, so we need to thread the wire through that guide and then into this little blue tube. I have very fat fingers. It's got a little bit of a bend, so I'm going to cut it off. Okay, so now once that's started, we can tighten this down. See how it's being thread into that tube? This is now pressing down, and we're tightening this for tension. So now if we turn it on and we press the button, it will feed the wire through there. There we go. Plug in the ground. Has a little notch in there so it can only go in one way, and then it locks into place. I've been filming every step of the way, so this is right out of the box. 5 minutes in, I'm just going to turn it on and start welding, and this is what the first pass looks like. I am not a professional welder by any stretch of the imagination. I just threw that together. It is my very first try. I've never used this welder before. Let's actually break it apart and see what kind of penetration this got. That was maxed out on voltage and wire speed. I don't know if you could see this in the camera, but it spools really slow in the beginning and then like speeds up. So I need the faster wire speed, but it took a while to spool up. So the beginning of this, it isn't that great. I mean, none of the weld is that great, but again, I'm not a great welder. So let's throw this thing in my handy little vise that is like 100 years old. Thanks, Grandpa. And I'm going to start out by just using pliers to see if I can pull it. And yeah, unfortunately, didn't take a whole lot to break this. Now, I mean, I do have a decent amount of leverage take a look at this. Penetration, not very good. Part of this is the metal, but you can just see there's just not a ton of penetration here. But like I said, this is an $80 welder. Now that we know this, let's go back to the welder and gonna try a few other things to see if we can't make this a little better. Here I've offset this, and instead of a butt weld, we are going to try to get more penetration this way by offsetting it just a touch. Now again, I am not a professional welder, so don't be judging my welding too harshly, but knowing what I did on the first passes, I definitely held it longer. Now you can see in the beginning it's not as recessed because it's still taking time to heat this up, but I was holding it as long as possible to really get penetration in here, and this is significantly better than the last weld. As you can see over here how much heat we are getting on the back side as well. Now you may wonder why I'm welding on this super dirty metal. That's because this is the metal that I'm going to be welding on when I need this portable welder, so I want this to be a real life situation. I could end up with a better weld by better prepping my metal, but I'm not going to be able to do that in the field for the application that I'm looking for. In order to truly be portable, can I run this off of my generator? This is a Honda 2200i. I don't know. Guys, and the one gal that watches my channel, I appreciate you, by the way. Will this work? Let's try it. This is after like 3 welds. My wire brush is on the fritz already, which to be expected. I mean, look at this thing, it's plastic. Look at that penetration. I'm pumped about this. This is gonna work. $80 welder, welding what I need to. All right, here's the real question though. The reason I got this cheap welder is, will my truck run it? It's only a 400 watt max. I have very low expectations for this, but I'm gonna give it a try. Sadly, the answer is no. The blinking light of death. This has overheated the inverter. Now this right here is why I wanted that little portable welder. I have cross bracing across all of these so that I can stack everything up on top. So there's 12 attachments in here. There's some that are hiding, so you've got multiple attachments in here. I welded these frames together. I also screwed some of them together. A couple more attachments in the bed of the truck. This thing worked awesome. It was totally worth the 80 bucks. This is at least an 8-hour trip of where I had to go to get this, and so being able to do it all in one trip for $80 saved me an insane amount of money. If I threw away the welder today, it'd be well worth it. Here's some of the cross bracing that I did. Now I didn't knock away the slag, but you can see the weld held with the amount of weight, and then I strapped it down hard. Look at this bend. So it bent the metal, but weld looks excellent. I had to stop filming yesterday because it started pouring down rain. Point of this video is to review this thing. $80, 80. I think we need to really emphasize that. Absolutely worth it. I'm going to show you a quick clip of why I bought this welder, and it worked awesome. Am I going to be doing professional welding jobs with this thing? Well, as you can see by my welds, I'm not doing professional welding jobs for anything. I don't care how nice my equipment is, but hobby welder for smaller welds or for smaller metals, give this thing a try. If you're not going to be using it all the time with some of its plastic gears and everything, I don't know how much longevity this thing has, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to be using this pretty often. It is going to save me a ton of money. The second day that I had it probably saved me $500 and at least 8 hours of my time. So 2 thumbs up, Roger Ebert. Anybody remember that? Am I showing how old I am by saying that? It's worth it. Well done. Well done, Azuno, wherever you're from. China, probably. Thanks for watching.